Welcome back. Atlanta-based Football League, Overtime Elite, and MetaQuest. They're teaming up to create exclusive VR content, and we want to welcome back into the stream Josh Schaefer from Yahoo Finance, along with Marc Kohn, Overtime and Overtime Elite Chief Content Officer. Marc, thank you so much for joining us here. Can you just give us an overview exactly what you're doing? Because I was reading some of the details, and this came at me from left field, but it seems like a really promising idea that you have here.
Yes, so we are a basketball league that pays high school age players to play in Atlanta, Georgia. We have 16 to 19-year-olds, some of the best players in the country, aspiring to become, NBA and professional basketball stars down the road. And so what we've partnered with MetaQuest to do is to create some VR dunk contests that kind of bring the audience from around the world closer to the action. And so because we built this arena in Atlanta, Georgia, that is state of the art, it's one of the greatest digital video arenas in the entire world. Our lighting system is only in 3 different places in the world. It's the Barclays Center, the Staples Center, and OT Arena. And we were able to create a virtual reality experience with MetaQuest that brought viewers from around the world to be able to watch our unbelievable athletes put on one of the great dunk shows that you'll ever see.
Yeah, Marc, can you walk us through, I guess, the logistics of putting this on, VR headsets and kind of what the added challenges are there? I don't know if you needed a certain amount of different cameras that had to be added in, but what were kind of the logistical hurdles and what needs to come together to make this happen?
So for our regular games, we have 10 broadcast quality HD cameras. We had to add 5 virtual reality 180 cameras to our camera package for this dunk show. And part of the intricacies of virtual reality is being able to put the cameras in the right positions of where would the audience want to watch this thing? And so we put one right underneath the basket so that you are sitting right on the baseline, right underneath the hoop. We put one right around the 3-point line. As you can see in the B-roll, you can see fans lining the court. And so we have one of those cameras right there. So you would be shoulder to shoulder with those people on the court. And then we put another one along the baseline to kind of give that side view perspective for the audience that was a little bit elevated. And when you think about 180, it's almost like in virtual reality, every camera is kind of like you have 180 degrees line of sight. So every camera that you set up, you kind of think about what does the viewer see who throws on the headset? And for all of you who would want to go see it, if you throw on one of your headsets right now, we're in Horizon venues for everybody to kind of check it out. It is a surreal experience. So I threw one on this morning to kind of see how things looked, and was able to just bump into my friend who was, in the balcony watching as well. And we were able to have a full conversation while watching the dunk show. And I think when you think about the future of sports and being able to bring people closer together, this metaverse that everybody's kind of talking about, really the key part of it is community. Right? You're able to kind of go there and, for instance, I'm a gigantic Miami Dolphins fan. I can imagine throwing on a headset someday, watching games live from the 50-yard line with all of my Dolphin friends. And the ability to connect to your community, talk to people while you're really right in the action. That's what this technology allows you to do. And it's ready right now.
Certainly. And so when you think about the different monetization touch points that come with an experience like this, what would that look like, and how readily accessible are those touch points for the different viewers and the people who would be engaging with this different type of immersive experience?
So I think it's probably what you guys talk about every day, all day long right now, right? It's like the rush, for NFTs and like, what are these non-fungible tokens, and how do you give people different access to things that they have in real life, like this, this hoodie. How does this become a digital item that all of our fans can watch? And so whether that is sneakers, whether that is digital hoodies, whether that is like different access points, right? So whether that's our athletes at OTE who have their avatars being built, and us being able to host different rooms, build an overtime basketball court inside of the metaverse. It's the ability to kind of create a deeper connection with people who can't see you in real life all the time. You can kind of bring the next best experience into the metaverse. I think that obviously everybody's on their phone all the time, nonstop, right? And so it's really not much different than that, except it's even more interactive, and people will soon, I think, Bill Gates said that in 3 years, every meeting will be in the metaverse. I can see how that can happen after experimenting with this technology. I think that the blend between your real life and your digital life are going to be one and the same pretty shortly.
And Mark, when you mentioned the fact that you have to kind of have those cameras almost perfectly placed, right, to get in the right spot for the viewing, a dunk show is pretty, where the guys are going to be, and where the ball is kind of going to go, and it can be planned out to some extent. Yeah. Is this possible to do this with live games? Do you think live sports is headed that way? Could we ever watch live sports in the metaverse, or is it too unpredictable?
No, it will happen as the technology gets better. There are a couple of different technology points that will need to improve. But if you were able to put a camera at, and we will do this shortly, if you were to put a camera at center court, if you were to put cameras behind the baskets, because of their fixed position, and you have to make sure based on like, hey, how you cut cameras can get a little intricate based on how people are viewing. You don't want to, all of a sudden, have a camera that's going this way and then cut quickly to a camera that is in the opposite direction. But the technology is almost there. And I think that you can watch a basketball game today in virtual reality. The NBA does it, and it's a pretty good experience.
And Mark, the tech looks amazing. I got to ask you about your business and perhaps your path to the IPO, because I'm looking at some of your notes here. Your last funding round valued at about $250 million. That was last April. A lot of things have changed. You looking to go live? You looking to list this year, next year? What does that path look like?
I'm not the guy who makes business decisions. I'm a content guy. I'm the guy that gets to dream up of building this arena and being able to think about how we go into the metaverse. But there's smarter people than me that know about IPOs.
Fair enough, and we'd love to have you back when you get some of that new tech up and running. That is Marc Kohn, Overtime and Overtime Elite Chief Content Officer, along with Yahoo Finance's Jeff Schaefer.